Alright, you see this firearm laying here. This is a Ruger 2245. It's a 22 caliber pistol. So let me ask you a question. You see this gun laying here on the table. I'm at a shooting range. Got the place myself. There's nobody down range. But you see this firearm laying on the table here. Is it loaded or is it unloaded? Well, how do you know? Right? How would I know? Well, I know because I always unload and do a safety check before I start the videos. But let's just pretend for a while you're going to walk down range, change target, or you're standing here at the table, you're going to talk to somebody, and you turn back to this firearm on the table. Is it loaded or unloaded? Well, the right answer is there's no such thing as an unloaded gun. You always have to open the slide up. You're going to look inside the chamber. You're going to make sure there's no magazine and there's no bullet in the chamber. But I want to talk about something else. There's plenty of other gun safety videos, so I'm not going to go into all that, but I'm just going to touch on one subject, which is near and dear to me, which is I'm a big fan of the chamber flag. You see this firearm laying here, you don't know if it's unloaded or not. You're going to have to go through the process of picking it up off the table, opening the slide, and checking to make sure there's no magazine in it. Now, that's fine, and that's standard practice. That's a good convention to go into. Always check. But you're having to pick the firearm up off the table, and if there are people down range, or you're cleaning guns inside your house or whatever, you don't want to run the chance of picking up the gun in the wrong way and accidentally touching the trigger, so you got to be careful about that. And you're handling a firearm which you suspect may be loaded, especially when I've got people at the range here that are walking down range to change their targets. I cannot be handling this firearm. So I'm a big fan of the chamber flag. You see here, you see this firearm laying on a table. Is it loaded or not? Well, you see that orange thing sticking out of the chamber, you know it's not loaded. Now, some idiot may have put a magazine in there or something like that, but I know that as long as I see that, there is no way this firearm can fire. I can drop off this table, I can beat the thing around, I can kick it across the floor. If it falls off this table or anything, there's absolutely no way it can fire. It's got that chamber flag in there, it's blocking the slide open, and that chamber flag goes down into the chamber and verifies that there is no cartridge in the chamber. So, likewise with the 22, I've got this one made for the 22, and normally I'll have that in there unless I'm actually shooting. So it's useful for a lot of things. Like if you're going to put this firearm back in the safe, lock it up when you're done. It's laying in the safe, you come back to it later. You see it laying like this in the safe, you're like, well, did somebody leave a bullet in there from the last time they were shooting at the range? Well, I don't know, I got to unload it and check. Which you should unload it and check. But if I put it in the safe like this, with the chamber flag sticking out, I look at that firearm and I know, okay, it's in the safe and it's in a safe configuration. I know there's a chamber flag. I know there's no way that it can punch a hole through the back of my safe. Likewise, if you zip it up into a zipper bag, or you're putting it back into the case, or putting it into a holster to when you're done with your shooting, you've got the chamber flag in there, then you've basically got a visual verification. And what I'm talking about here is it provides a visual signal. Immediately at inspection, you know, hey, that one's suspect, I can't tell. This one, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I feel good about that. I know there's chamber flag in there. So I'm not talking about taking anything away from the normal safety routines of unloading, always checking the chamber, looking inside, inspecting. I'm not taking anything away from that. I'm just saying that the chamber flags can be useful in a lot of cases, especially when you're storing a firearm or moving it into a zipper bag and stuff like that. So shoot safe and have fun out there.